I also played, and John can talk about this as well. We also played Redfall, the vampire game. Let's talk about that.
Critically acclaimed.
All right. I do want to say off the top that on my way home today, which was like 30 minutes ago, more than 30 minutes ago, because Flack's been talking for an hour. I did listen to the Nextlander pod where they reviewed this game, so I will be comparing your guys' review to theirs.
I see.
And I just hope that you guys do well and don't make us look stupid.
Who's the Brad
We'll
Shoemaker here? Well, I guess actually that would be me. Go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah, so me, John, Alex, and Knoxville played it together, 4-player. And I don't know, we played for a few hours. As John alluded to previously, he sort of played a game of quitting chicken with us at the end. He just... This game is draining.
I think you are all playing
that's
that
what
game
we came
with each other.
With. Yeah.
To be fair,
But, you know, for
What do
me
you mean, like,
and Alex
who,
and Knoxville...
Who will quit first is the loser?
Yes, yeah.
Well, okay,
yeah.
this is what I had from my
Me and
perspective.
John played that in Gears of War, but yeah.
Well, this was different. There was no hate here. Well, there was mild annoyance with the game. I didn't want to be the first person to quit. I'm not trying to bring the room down if anyone was having mild fun. So I wasn't going to do it first.
Just leave.
Well, plus also, you were hosting the campaign too, and there's those co-op progression. So if you were the one who decided to quit, and in some strange world where they wanted to play a little bit more, they would have to restart the game.
They have to restart, and they have to restart their progress. And I wouldn't want to do that to my friends. So I...
You did the
put the
brave
controller
move.
down. I just went to sleep.
Yeah.
I said that like 10 minutes after like you weren't talking, but I swear they waited for you for like an hour and a half.
Well,
don't get me wrong. No.
Well, they probably needed to wait.
See, here's the thing.
Some stuff needs all 4 people. I didn't think about it.
It's hard to tell how much time passes when you're just watching
true.
Flash jumping around this boring lifescape. But there's nothing around, no fucking enemies, and when he does have enemies. It's like the shittiest fucking shooting of this stupid shotgun. The enemies barely react, and it's literally just point click until health bar is at 0.
That is accurate. But I want to say, okay, John did nothing wrong. I'm joking about him quitting. He did nothing wrong by going to sleep on this game, and us continuing to technically play the game after that point. We were already done. Like we were done playing the game, like it's a real video game. I think me and Alex in Knoxville we're kind of like connoisseurs of crap in general. So we were just like kind of exploring our sick fascination with, I don't know, like breaking little things, finding bugs, and just, going around to different places and trying to see what we could see. I will say
it was mildly cool when you went to the water's edge and found that little ship there. That was kind of neat.
I mean, like even in a bad game, you can have some environmental artist or some design person came up with that idea that the water is frozen and retracted from the land. And that's a cool design concept, and it's cool to see the waves kind of like pulled back and the ships left on the seabed, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, the map looks neat. It's like a town map kind of thing. It's not
the horizon specifically.
Really
the actual navigating the town looked kind of boring.
Yes. Every time you look at the sun, which is perpetually eclipsed, the sun talks to you, I guess. Well,
that was kind of neat.
Character named the Black Sun taunts you.
Yeah, maybe the first time.
Every time you look at the sun.
Time, but not the 15th time where it says the same fucking thing. Or when the NPCs say the same thing every time I use... me or Flash, we're both playing the same character. We use this lift ability. You create like a psychic bellhop, and it just gives you a double jump. And somebody would always say, "What the hell is that?
An elevator?" Yeah.
Like, all right, come on.
It's weird because like this game seems like the worst combination of like not great execution. Like it's just kind of bland and boring and all that, but also like just not a great idea either. Like this has to be a game with like a tortured development where it was one thing then it became another. You know what I mean?
It's a weird mix between a bad Borderlands and a bad Destiny.
Yeah.
It's a looter shooter, but I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at when I look at the menu to compare. And none of the guns are that interesting. It's not like they like change like Borderlands and you're getting all sorts of different effects and shot types. It's just like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different types.
Yeah, no, this game is absolutely a symptom of the gaming landscape that we have right now, you know, with AAA developers releasing just absolute shit and hoping that, you know, it makes money, because there's no way that those developers would have released this on purpose. Like
it just hurts so much coming from Arcane.
Arcane, yeah, that's what's
like,
so
you know,
crazy
they know
about it.
quality.
This Arcane studio made fucking Prey, which is an amazing game, one of the best immersive sims ever made, one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, so there had to be something behind the scenes that forced this game out, basically, where, you know, I'm sure the people working on it did not want this fucking released.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, we did, you know, I jokingly I called it the end boss, but we did a mission to kill an underboss. You go, like, go to a house and you kill an underboss. You have to kill so many of them, and I think you can kill like, the big boss in the area. We were expecting some kind of something, you know, some kind of mini boss. We go there and it was just a normal vampire, and I killed it with one shot before we even really knew that was the underboss, and then the mission was over.
Yeah,
that's the thing too.
We wouldn't get reviewed normally, but because of the name behind it, like, it's getting reviewed.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like that bad. I agree.
What John said about killing the mini boss in one hit, that's another thing, is that we determined, or we discovered that, like, the player number scaling, like how many players there are in the game, is just like broken. It just doesn't make sense. So like there's some mechanic where you are actually stronger together than you are alone. So if you're 4 people up against a boss, you're going to have a much easier time. Because when I was alone, away from the other 3, I was plinking away at a boss and just doing nothing to its health bar. So it's crazy, the disparity between how much, I don't know, damage, I guess, and how much the sponginess of a foe alone versus with the group. And as a group, as 4 people, and I imagine as, you know, 2 or 3, enemies and even bosses are a joke. They're just a joke. They go down. We delete them. You know,
which is insane. Like they even came out and said, a developer apparently said that the game was optimized for 2 people.
So maybe 2 people is better. Maybe 2 people is the best combination of.
Yeah, but like, why release? I mean, no.
Why advertise and release a 4-player co-op game and then say it's optimized for 2 people? Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could go for another hour or so, but just as far as just even the multiplayer, you know, we started the game. We were literally just dropped in on a boat. I don't even think there was a cutscene beforehand, and not that the cutscenes are anything special. They're not like animated,
but there just
like,
wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know if that bugged out or something, because I think, yeah, I started another character and there was a cutscene, but this time it's just whatever, skipped, and it's just like the teaching you how to game. It's just a bunch of interrupting fucking pop-ups that jump on your screen that you have to hold like escape to get rid of, and it's just bad from head to toe. I didn't like any of it.
I actually listed all of the things I could remember happening, and probably missed a few. All the like the bugs and bad game design decisions. Can I just like rattle them off real quick?
Yeah.
So exactly, I was actually going to start sliding enemies and other players, which goes right into animations are just poor in general. Like things just look jank in general.
Yeah, no matter what.
Wise.
Other characters were always holding out a gun, even if the characters weren't holding out a gun.
Yep.
You know, just small stuff like that. Obviously, and bigger stuff, but
enemies just standing still sometimes and not being aggressive. Like we came up against a vampire one time that was just, I don't know, chill with us, friendly. It looked angry, but it clearly wasn't, because it wasn't attacking us. It was just floating in the center of a room, and me and Alex just sort of shook its hand and eventually decided to put it out of its misery. You know, it was impotent. So enemies, at one point there were enemies caught in like an attacking loop on a sentry or something like that. We just found a group attacking nothing in one spot, and they finally I drew their attention, and they, you know, we entered combat. But chimneys just end in a roof at the bottom. There's no hole, there's no blackness. It's just a box on a roof, clipping through stuff all over. The other players you see.
How's Santa Claus?
Stuff.
How's Santa Claus getting it down there on Christmas?
He doesn't. He has to smash through the roof.
He's got to smash through the shingles. A drill or a sledgehammer.
Yeah, Kris Kringle has to smash through the shingles.
What a dark universe.
Dark black hole sun universe. The mantling animation looks jank. Your arm just kind of flies out there and grabs on. As I said before, game is not balanced for 4 players, maybe 2. Environmental and character model scaling is wonky for some reason. Everything just looks friggin' weird. Scaled next to each other.
That room. The fucking TV and the mug and the one chair and the other chair. Everything's just different sizes. It looks like fucking like a fun house room.
And some of it, I think, can be pegged on the stylization of the art style. It's sort of stylized, I guess. But what it ends up really just being is that characters look pretty normal, except they have like huge hands. It's not really so stylized that it makes sense. It just looks weird. It looks wonky. Textures sometimes take time to load in. Of course. Missions are boring due to too few enemies. Like Andy said earlier, you can walk across most of the map without encountering a single goddamn enemy. It just feels empty and lifeless. I mean, I know it's supposed to be lifeless because vampires own the town, but there's no vampires either, nor are there human thralls. And then as we played the game, at least for me, the performance just dies as it goes along. It just starts to chug over the course of a couple hours of gameplay. It just got worse and worse for no discernible reason. I tried turning settings and no, it's just the game shits itself as it goes along. Those are the things I wrote down. And I'm sure there were more. Redfall.
John, I will inform you that the game fell apart when they got to a ready check that required you to be there.
Yeah.
And they didn't find something else to do?
Nope, they just ran around the town for like an hour.
I just wanted to see some stuff before I quit the game forever, you know? See what I can see.
Yeah.
Oh, just as an added bonus, I tend to try to record any new game I'm playing, at least for a little bit, just like some of the first time playing, just in case I need to use the footage sooner or later. The footage I recorded for Redfall got corrupted in a way that I've literally never seen before. To the point where only like the first 25 minutes or so of our multi-hour gameplay session ended up usable. So most of our encounters with like bugs and stuff are just lost. But to our memory.
To a bug.
To a bug, yes.
You know what? I think I'm happy not having those memories. Glad
that's fine.
Things worked out.
Goodness. John, do you have anything else to say about Redfall?
Not very good.
You can say that again.